in order to attract investment in rupee-denominated long-term infrastructure bonds, I propose to amend Section 194LC so that foreign currency routed through designated account by a non-resident for investment in such bonds is deemed to be borrowing in foreign currency. It is proposed to withdraw this amendment in order to insert a new Section 194LD for providing a 5% rate of tax on interest payment during the period beginning from 1st of June 2013 and ending on 31st of May 2015 to foreign institutional investors and qualified foreign investors on investment in government securities and rupee-denominated government corporate bonds. Madam, under the existing provisions of Section 206(1)(d) of the Income Tax Act, there's a rate of 1% is levied on cash, sale of bullion or jewelry. There was an exclusion in the parenthesis of that clause. That exclusion was giving opportunity for misuse. That exclusion is now being withdrawn. Amendment to Section 206AA, carving out an exception so that the PAN requirement and consequently higher withholding tax of 20% does not apply to interest payment to non-residents in respect of long-term infrastructure bonds referred to in Section 194LC. These amendments will attract more investment in long-term infrastructure, which is a very important need of the country. Madam, there's a proposal to have a tax deducted at source at 1% on transfer of immovable property other than agricultural land. That remains. However, in order to be helpful to the person who is required to deduct the tax, we are dispensing with the requirement of obtaining a TAN. He need not have a TAN, but he must deduct the tax. Section 153 and 153B are proposed to remove certain anomalies that were created by language in the Finance Act of last year, 2012. These are purely drafting amendments which we are making so that the intention of that section becomes clear. Madam, we are introducing, as I said in the budget speech, the commodities transaction tax. Now that we are putting a commodities transaction tax on commodities other than agricultural commodities, trading in commodity derivatives will no longer be considered as a speculative transaction. Madam, we are also providing that the chairman of the Central Excise and Customs Appellate Tribunal, CSTAT, can be either a High Court judge or a senior vice president or one of the vice presidents. Madam, on the indirect taxes side, we are taking for ourselves a tariff cushion to raise the import duty from 30% to 70%, so that if necessary, we can impose a higher duty on imported cashew kernels in order to protect domestic industry. And finally, Madam, at the request of railways, although the service tax became applicable to railways a little earlier, they did not collect the service tax for the period prior to 1st of October 2012. Therefore, for the period 1st of July 2012 to 1st of October 2012, in order to avoid an unusual burden on the railway and the persons to whom they provide services or got services, I'm exempting the period 1/7/2012 to 1/10/2012 from service tax for the railways. These are the important amendments we are making. As I said, the most important amendment is amendment by way of making it abundantly clear there was never any intention to impose wealth tax on agricultural land. There is no intention, and therefore the matter should be put to rest. No controversy should be raised on this issue. The matter must be put to rest.